level of hybrid vehicles, they don't have a gasoline engine. It's an entirely electric vehicle. And the battery pack has a defined range. It's a much, much larger battery pack, and it enables the driver to operate for, say, 100 miles before the vehicle needs to be plugged in and recharged when what's been depleted. And this is something that is, again, an emerging technology which manufacturers are looking at, including Ford Motor Company. By next year, Ford will be offering a commercial vehicle called the Transit Connect battery electric vehicle, which will be capable of this. And in a following year after that, we'll have a passenger car battery electric vehicle that will be available. Sometimes customers say, well, why might I consider a hybrid vehicle? And we just wanted to take a couple minutes to just talk to some people about some of the key reasons that people look at hybrid vehicles. And the first reason, very importantly, is to save money on gasoline. As gas prices go up and people understand that gasoline is no longer necessarily a stable priced commodity, people are looking for means by which to save money or hedge against future gas price increases. Hybrids are a great way to do that. They're significantly more fuel efficient. Full hybrids and plug-in hybrids will be significantly more fuel efficient than a traditional gasoline engine vehicle. It also enables people to reduce their carbon footprint, which is important to a lot of people nowadays and becoming more and more important in society. It also enables reduced maintenance costs because the electric components in the vehicle actually help reduce on maintenance. For example, with the regenerative braking system in a hybrid vehicle, you save money on wear and tear of the brake pads because you actually use the electric motor to slow the vehicle down to capture that energy to be powered to power the vehicle in the future. And there are certain federal tax incentives and sometimes local tax incentives which help people buy a hybrid vehicle, which actually make them something that somebody would want to consider. All of Ford hybrid vehicles actually still qualify for some type of tax credit should the person qualify under the IRS rules. And lastly, some people are looking for a vehicle that has a bit of a distinctive look, and some people buy hybrid vehicles just for that particular look. What I'd like to do is I'd like to turn it over to my partner here, Praveen, and have him talk a little bit further about Ford Motor Company's hybrid vehicles.
Thanks, Dave. Some of you might know that Ford's been a major player in the hybrids arena since 2004 when we launched the Escape hybrid, and Ford has been the #1 domestic volume producer of hybrids in the market. With the Escape hybrid at 31 miles per gallon, we're still the #1 in terms of fuel economy in the SUV segment. And then with the recent launch of the Fusion hybrid, with our fuel economy of 41 miles per gallon in the city, we beat our closest competition, which is the Camry hybrid, by 8 miles per gallon. And it's, the way we achieve that is largely by listening to people like you that are very interested in hybrids, because your opinions, your concerns about cost of fuel, about the carbon footprint and the impact on the environment is what drives our design development of vehicles at Ford. And in the sense, we picked a vehicle like the Fusion mainly because it's a no-compromise vehicle. It's a vehicle that's a mid-size sedan, can seat 5 adults comfortably, and and to get in a mid-size sedan 40+ miles per gallon, that is actually a significant accomplishment. And I think we've seen that in terms of how it's been received in the marketplace. Couple of things that we paid attention to. One is obviously, in terms of creature comforts, you're giving up nothing. You're getting all the creature comforts you would typically want in a mid-size sedan. At the same time, fun to drive. The Fusion platform, which has been around since 2006, is really a fun to drive platform where you don't compromise any of the driving dynamics or steering, which you typically see in a purpose-driven, purpose-built vehicle that's purely dedicated for, say, a fuel economy, where you make trade-offs in terms of how quiet the vehicle is or how harsh the driving dynamics of the car is. Whereas with the Fusion, you get pretty much a full package. And end of the day, you're not only saving saving gas, you're actually making a big impact on our carbon CO2 footprint in the environment. And some of the features we made sure we paid attention to are efficiency. One simple example with the Fusion Hybrid, it comes with a dual zone climate control system. And essentially what that allows you to do is puts both the driver and the passenger at a comfort level of their choice. So let's say if the driver is at say 70 degrees Fahrenheit and the passenger likes to run the car a lot more colder and keeps it at say 65. Now the vehicle has to run harder to keep the passenger at a comfort level of 65, which typically means you're consuming power, consuming energy. And this is an example where when the passenger is not in the car, the vehicle knows that there's no passenger, and it shuts off the dual zone and keeps it as a single zone, essentially now keeping it at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which translates to fuel economy. And in simple terms, it's like, if there's nobody in a room, let's turn the lights off, right? And that's the logic we used, and you'll see all over the car. It's little improvements like that we've done all over the vehicle that made a significant impact in fuel economy. Another key element that we paid attention to is customer input. When we do customer clinics and talk to people like you that are interested in hybrids, not only was the feedback that the vehicle should be very capable of getting good fuel economy in normal driving conditions, the key also was that show us some tips, give us some positive feedback as you're driving that can